Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm back. If you have not noticed. I've been out for about a week. Just me and my assistant working, so been a little bit behind, and that's why I decided to take the week off. But I finished what I needed to do early today, and I just came back from the post office, and I was like, you know what? I'm hopping on. And here I am. I missed you guys too. Welcome, welcome. Today, I wanted something more hands-on with today's Facebook Live. It won't be too long, but I wanted to talk about conversions. I actually want to go through with you how to figure out your conversion rate, some basic stuff, of course, especially if you're new to online selling, and then what to do with that number, right? Because I could tell you the simple formula to figure out your conversion rate, but then you're like, okay, what do I do after that? What can you infer from what I show you? So I'm going to kind of go through it with you. I'm going to talk about it in regards to Etsy as well as Amazon. Now, of course, if you have your own .com or wherever else you're selling, you can apply the same techniques to any other platform, okay? So let's talk about it in just a few short seconds or minutes while people come on. I missed you guys too. I really did. It was a really rough week with my husband being gone. It's just me and my assistant, and she doesn't do full-time printing. He does, so I really needed to be with her and not on Facebook Live in the mornings. She comes in at 8, and I needed to make sure that she was printing properly and things like that. And so that's why I was away, but I am back. Of course, I'll be back on Monday, but I wanted to do one today in the afternoon because, I just felt like it. I ended work a little early today. I'm probably going to hop upstairs here and there throughout the day to finish some other things I could do for work, but I'm pretty much done. I really wanted to get printing done today. I missed you guys too. Thank you so much. That's very flattering. Thank you. I thought maybe you guys forgot about me since I've been out for a week. I really do worry that you're going to forget about me. But no worries, I'm here. I should probably not be holding my my phone, but I just kind of didn't think about going to my other office, which is fine. What a great surprise to see you. It's been a long week without your Facebook Lives. Yes, absolutely. Guys, just in general, if I'm ever out for whatever reason, I have plenty of Facebook Lives. You could go back and just refresh your memory on certain topics. And I think it will certainly help motivate you and, of course, help you out. So let's get started, okay? Let's talk about conversion rates. Now, regardless that, Etsy has changed their conversion kind of thing, where now it's not about views, it's about visits. And if you're like, what are you talking about, Dahlia? Well, let me tell you. Etsy stats, okay, we'll talk about Amazon in just a second. Etsy stats, if you looked at it a long time ago, you would see every single visit you received. Even if Dahlia went to all 50 of your items, you would have 50 views. Now it's different. Now it's about visits. So if Dahlia and Sally both together looked at 100 items, you'd only see 2 visits because it's only me and Sally. So things have changed. So the conversion rate's obviously going to be different. I'm not here to tell you what your conversion rate should be yet. Etsy has not announced the industry standard on Etsy, so I can't tell you for certain. But I'm still going to help you figure out how to improve, okay? Know where you are and how to improve, okay? So I'm going to open... oh, my Etsy's not up. That's kind of odd. That's like, that never happens. Usually Amazon's always up, Etsy, my .com, everything. Anyway, hey guys. So again, I won't be... wait, what was I going to say? Probably nothing important. I am going to come back on Monday, but I want to do a surprise Facebook Live today. So let's get started. If you're by your computer, if you watch this on your phone, you're by your computer, you could do this along with me. If not, you could take a couple of notes, or you could watch this again later, or you probably can memorize it. I don't think it's that hard. So I'm going to go to my shop stats. Okay, let me pull up my stats here. And I'm going to give you a quick calculation of how to do your conversion rate, okay? 1 second. All right, and now, of course, if you're new to life, you probably don't know this, but Etsy has changed where your conversion rate should have been 1 to 3% for your shop. It is now different. for your shop, it should be higher. I don't know the exact number. The range should be higher. But when you look at individual listings, which we'll do in a second, it should be at least 1 to 3%. We'll go on that in a second. Okay, so you should at least do 30 days when you're looking at conversion rates. If you're doing it by day, it's really not a good call because, you know, I could have a really weird day, right? I could have a day when, I mean, I've had it before, where literally people look at my shop and nobody decides to buy. Does that really indicate how well my shop is doing? No, it doesn't. There's going to be ebbs and flows on Etsy, anywhere online selling. Hey, Trace. So I want you to do 30 days at minimum, okay? So I did last 30 days on my shop stats. I'm obviously not going to turn the camera around. I'm going to leave it like this, right, so we could talk. What you're going to do, simple math. You can take the number of orders, okay, number of orders, hit the divided sign, right? So number of orders divided by the number of visits, okay? So what this conversion rate means is that you have converted this, well, hold on, before I tell you what this means. The number you see on your calculator or whatever, times that by 100, or move the decimal place over to the right twice, okay? So that is your conversion rate, okay? Right now I'm sitting at a 3.8%. That's pretty good. So it's important you do your conversion rate for your shop. Write that down somewhere. Write it down on a piece of paper. I'm going to write 3.8 right here, okay? So that's fantastic, okay? Now, again, it's not based on views. It's based on visits. Back before when Etsy didn't change their stats and it was based on views, I was lower. I was in the 2.5%. So I could see a decent jump, right? So that's that. Now that you know your shop conversion rate, again, it's number of orders divided by number of visits. You're saying to yourself, all right, well, I don't know what your number is, but my number is 3.8. So you say, all right, 3.8, that's great. Now here I am in this Facebook Live to help you get it higher. Okay, I want you to get it higher. So how do you get it higher? Well, we know that 3.8 in my case, the conversion rate is pretty much math that was, it's the result of math that was done based on number of orders and visits, right? So we know that I've converted some people, okay? We know that. Now, when you look into how to get that higher, you have to convert more people. Simple, right? Bear with me. I'm trying to like walk you through like the steps. So how do we get more people to convert? Well, the people that already converted, we don't have to get them to convert. They already did their job, okay? The people that didn't convert, how do we get them to convert? Well, they probably didn't convert because they saw a listing that was not right for them. For whatever reason, it wasn't right for them. They hated the picture. They didn't like the price. You didn't offer it in the color they wanted. Whatever it is, right? Before we start nitpicking and saying, what is it about my listing that they didn't like? We have to identify what those listings are that bring your shop down. That bring down or brought down your overall shop number. So here we are in this Facebook Live. We're going to do this together. We're going to go and look for those listings. We're going to look for the superstars too. I'll explain why in a second. And we're also going to look for the ones that are like horrible. Now this is really important because it's about also identifying the ones that are getting so many views and not enough sales. Because here we are always worrying about SEO, which is a great thing to worry about, by the way. You want to get views in your store, but you're working so hard to get these views in the store, but why aren't you working hard on converting those customers, right? It's not about bringing 1 million people to your shop, okay? I'd rather have 5 customers a day and they spend each, right? Each one of them spend. Or 100 customers a day and they all spend, as opposed to 1,000 and only 1 or none of them spend. We know the math, right? Okay, so here we are in the stats section. On the top, you could go to click on listings. Okay, again, we're still on last 30 days. It's really important to do 30 days. Okay, don't do anything less than that. Now, the name of the game is to find listings, okay? On the top, you'll see the most visited listings, okay? That's what I'm interested in, guys. I need you to find the most visited listings and take out your little calculator. I'm very embarrassed of this calculator, by the way, guys. It's so ugly. Okay? take out your calculator. You're going to do the number of orders. It's right there laid out for you. Okay? Laid out for you. Number of orders divided by the number of visits. Cool, right? And you could figure out each individual one's conversion rate. So let me do mine, okay? And right away, without clicking any buttons, you'll see the top 5 most visited listings, okay? Remember, we're not doing least visited. We're looking at the conversion rate. We want to find ones that people are looking at but not buying. So I'm going to do some math for you and kind of share my numbers with you. Okay, so you did the number of orders divided by number of visits. I'm doing it right now for my top one right there. And they're sorted by the number of visits. So you're going to have the highest number on the top, the most visited listing. Okay, so the first listing is at 2.7 for me. Okay. And remember, this is different than your shop, your overall shop. Okay. Ow, my hand hurts. No, that's not going to work. Okay. Your overall shop is based on a person. And yes, this may be as well, but one person may have visited this listing multiple times. Either way, Tracy's asking what time period did I do my search for? I said 30 days, always at least 30 days, okay? So first item, 2.7. Next one, I'm going to take number of orders divided by number of visits. Okay, 2.7, not bad. All right, third one, I'm going to do number of orders divided by, where is it? Number of visits. Holy bajoli. This is 11.7. My third item is 11.7. That's pretty freaking fantastic. All right, let's go to the next one. 5. And the last one, not the last one, you could always click on see more top visited listings, but I'm just going to do 5 for now. Well, actually, bear with me. I'm going to do something really quick. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so 6.7. So I have 2.7, 2.7, 11.7, 5, 6.7. Okay, my most visited item, okay, has the least amount, least amount of orders compared to the visits. The conversion rate. The conversion rate's pretty low. 2.7 is actually not low, guys, just for the record, but comparison to my other really top ones and comparison to my shop, it is pretty low. So I identified already 2 items that are bringing me down. That's what you're going to do, okay? Now, if you're not like me, you don't have anything in the top 5 that is bringing you down, hit view more listings and check after that the ones that are bringing you down. Wow, this one's really great. Wow, hold on. It's not bad. All right, so the 6th one, again, you're just going through. Oh, wow, 23%. I like this one. All right, anyway. So, and you go so on and so forth. So what I'm also noticing, there's 2 of them that had a decent amount of views and no sales. Now, by the way, guys, if you have no sales on certain items, when you should start to worry is when you've had at least 100 views on it. So if right now you have an item that has at least 100 views and no sales, that's worrisome, okay? The low conversion rates of 2.7, I want to help bring up. But if you're in the kind of the state where you're like, Dahlia, 2.7, I wish I could have that. I have some that have no sales. Then we'll talk about that in a second, but identify them. So I don't have anything like that. That's over 100 views with no sales. But if you did, write that down. If you cannot find any of your items in the last 30 days that have at least 100 views, because some of us don't have that much traffic, I get that, then you might have to go past the last 30 days. So you could change your time frame to custom and do 2 months at a time. Okay? Now, here's the kicker. If you have, it's a side note, if you have no items that have at least 100 views in the last 30 days, you need some serious SEO work or some serious work on how many items you have in your shop and or, number 3, the type of products you're selling. Okay? Okay. Maybe it's not that popular, etc. I don't think I have enough sales in the last 30 days to get accurate data on the individual listings. Should I expand farther out? So it's not about sales, I want to know how many views you have, Erica. Erica may not have orders, right, to get the accurate data. But here's the thing. I don't care if you go 6 months, right? If you still have no orders, you just suck at conversion. So the idea is to look at your visits. If you have at least 100 visits on an item and it's not converting, that's a problem. Okay? And yes, I will also absolutely have some items that that will probably reach that much and not convert. Who knows? Well, that's probably a problem. But if you have something that reaches that amount, then that's a problem. If you have ones that don't reach 100 views in 30 days, then you probably have to work on adding more items, getting more, work on SEO, driving traffic, etc. Okay, that's something different. We're not talking about this in this Facebook Live. We're talking about conversions here, right? So now that I've identified, or you have, right, your listings, I'm kind of doing it with you so you can kind of see my thought process. Sorry, I need to how do I get my phone to hold up? Just gotta change my position on my hand once in a while. Okay, so now that I've identified the listings that are lower in conversion, and so far I've identified 2 compared to the other ones that are fairly low. I would say these right here. Oh, my battery's dying soon. Ugh. Hold on, let me put power save mode on. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, I just put my backup battery on. Okay, so now that I've identified them, I have to see what's going on with it and why it's bringing me down. Now, this can mean many different things, but let me kind of start off by saying a couple of these things. The one thing that could possibly be bringing you down is the keyword phrases you're using for this item is not relevant. What does that mean? That means I'm dying to get found. Let's say I'm so desperate that I'm using anything that I feel like is related to my product to get found. And lo and behold, I get to the top of the search for a keyword phrase that's not quite right for my item. Okay? Let's just say one of my feminine looking note cards gets to the top of search for men's stationery. Now, yes, men can of course buy feminine looking products. It's fine. But what if that's why it's not converting? Maybe the majority of people don't care for that, right? So thinking about keyword relevancy and saying to yourself, if I were to search for men's stationery, would I buy this? Now, be hard on yourself. Don't say yes because you're you, right? Be hard on yourself. So that's the first thing I want you to consider. Are you getting so many views and not enough conversions because what you're describing your product as is not really what it is? Okay? Hold on a second, guys. My conversion rates have tanked in the last few months. So this is definitely something I need to figure out. My year-to-year comparison stats say views are up 10%, but sales are down 20%. You know, that could be a topic for a different time, but when you're looking and seeing why you're declining, it could be a few different reasons. I may touch on a few topics. I may touch on a few things regarding that in this Facebook Live. We'll see. Okay? This method doesn't add in your multiple item custom orders and custom orders generally. No, it does not. It does not. I mean, I can't, unless you want to manually add it up, then I can't help you, you know? If you're more of a custom order business or unique or one of a kind business, this may not really work for you, okay? So anyway, I identified what is wrong. I said, okay, the ones that are not converting well is potentially one that is, the keyword phrases are not really relevant. Another thing people fail to consider is that the item that is getting found, okay, a lot, that is not converting as much or enough, is probably at the top of a search somewhere. You're like, okay, that's good news, Dahlia. So why is that a problem? It's not really a problem. It's something you have to accept. One of my the most visited item is actually my #1 seller, and it's on the top of a search for multiple keyword phrases. What does that mean? That means there's going to be a whole bunch of eyes on it, no matter what. So naturally, that item will have a lower conversion rate, okay? Because there's so many eyes on it. Browsers, real shoppers, etc. So know that if you have something that is like, you know, for me, I have one that's 11%, 5, 6, 7, 23%, and I have 2 of them in 2.7, then just know that the 2.7, it's possible, and do some research. I already know this though, for my items. they're probably at the top of a search somewhere in a very popular keyword phrase. So they're getting a lot of browsing traffic. So it would naturally be lower. Okay, so that's another thing. Now, that does not mean if you are in the top search and you can't say, okay, I'm going to write that off. Dahlia's right, it's getting a lot of views just because I'm on the top of a search. I don't have to improve anything in my listing. Don't say that. You have to still figure out something you can improve on your listing. Okay, now here's, I'm going to break it down for you. Hold on a second. Where's my, oh, here it is. Give me 1 second. I'm just pulling it up so I don't forget to highlight a point. Where am I going? Oh yeah. Ah, there it is. Hold on a second, guys. Okie dokie. Just pulling it up. Ah, okay, there it is. So, what are the things that affect your conversions besides relevancy? I mentioned relevancy in your SEO. And of course, being at the top of a search, which you can get a lot of traffic. A few other things, okay? We all know what those are. I hope you do. So you don't have to write them. You could write them down below, but I'll just tell you, since we all know what they are, hopefully. Photos, okay? Your title, okay, which is part of relevancy. Variations, I'll explain each one in a second. Pricing, description. Okay, there might be a few more other things, but those are the main ones. Now, let's talk about variations for a second. When somebody opens your listing, why aren't they converting as much? It's possible because you're not making it easy by utilizing your variations for their needs. So when your customer or a customer looks at your item, what do they need from it? What do they need to complete checkout? How do you help them get to the finish line? Okay, so for me, it is picking envelope color, ink color, and putting the name for personalization. As we know, Etsy does not have any field where they could type in the name, but they do allow for me to put a drop-down menu, right, for picking ink and envelope color. So what do they need to choose or do, right, based on their needs, to get what they want before they hit checkout? You have to think about that. How do you make it easier for your buyer? Now, do I have to put ink and envelope color? No, there's other things you could do even in the stationary world, but think about it for your own world, okay? How do you make it easier for your buyer? And even if what you're selling is what you're selling, are you able to offer variations because the customer's looking at it and saying, well, this is a really good color combo, but I was hoping she had it in navy and not a sky blue, okay? Hey, Brooke. So utilizing variations to help answer your buyer's questions, to help with their needs. You have this beautiful art print that you're selling them? Fantastic. But Sally needs it in a different size. Her room is not that big. She needs a smaller one, a 5x7 instead of 8x10. So are you offering size variations? So on and so forth, okay? So that's what the deal with variations is. Now, here's another tip about variations. When you're offering variations and you're offering plenty of them, you know, when we're doing size, we do it in size order, right? 4x6, 5x7, 11, 8x10, 11x14, so on and so forth. If you are overseas and you're mainly catering to US customers, make sure you use our basic sizes, the ones I just listed. And if you cater also to overseas customers, make sure you use the sizes that they always use, right? I don't know what those are, but you get it. Okay. Another thing is that if you are listing a whole bunch of alpha, right, words, right, with alphabet, then you want to do it in alphabetical order. So if I'm looking at your chart, right, and for me example, I have, where's my color chart? Okay, so I have 35 colors, I don't know. And somebody's like, so the color chart, I want the color mint. I have to find it in the drop-down menu. Do it alphabetical order, guys. It's just the easiest thing to do. It's professional, comes off as really thorough, right? It's easy for them to find. You don't get them frustrated, so do an alphabetical order. This might take some time to get some rearranging done in your variations, but certainly important. It's one of those things you'd put on your to-do list it doesn't need to happen tomorrow. Like SEO needs to happen. Great pictures need to happen. Alphabetizing your variations is not in dire need, but it's one of those tasks that you could do when you don't feel like actually doing mind processing work. Okay? Anyway, so that's about variations. The last part of variations we'll talk about has to do a lot with photos, is actually having a chart of some sort. If you're offering variations, you should offer, sorry, if you're offering variations, you should have a photo that shows what those variations look like. Now, this goes for, well, size is a size. Everybody knows what inches are, right? So you don't need to, I mean, technically you don't need to show what 5x7 looks like. People should know. But when it comes to color, font style, material, finish, whatever, there should always be a chart of some sort that shows your variations, okay? Believe me, you may tell me, Dahlia, duh, I know this already. No, you don't. I do a lot of shop critiques, and people either are lacking in that, are not consistent, or, and last but not least, they have one, but it doesn't look professional. Having your logo on there, really simple, and making it consistent, meaning you don't want the square to be like this of a color and the other one to be like this long, and then it just looks choppy, it doesn't look professional. If I don't trust you, I'm buying from you online. I really don't know you. So you want me to trust you and you're giving me this crap? Like, it's not going to happen. So when you're doing your charts to offer variations, or however you offer variations, I don't care, make sure they're professional. So let's move on. Photos. Need I say any more? It's so important. You know, and I've talked about this before. The 3 things that I feel like have helped me with my success is photos, okay? SEO, well, in this order. SEO, photos, okay? No, sorry. Hold on. I'm a mess. You see that? Product line, SEO, and photos, okay? So photos, I don't really need to explain why it helps you with conversions, but if you are sitting there, and it, by the way, it not only helps you with conversions, it also helps you with views, okay? So it's like a twofer, right? And if you're sitting there saying, okay, Dad, my photos are not so great, it's not even doable, then what are you waiting for? I told you it's a twofer. I told you it takes care of helping you get more views, and it helps you with conversions. So if you're out there and you're like, well, by the way, this is a scale of how good photos are. If 10's perfect and 1 really, really sucks, and you're like an 8 or a 9, don't give yourself a hard time. Okay, no problem. But if you're like a 5, 6, maybe even 7, it's time to work on some improvements, okay? Especially if you're watching me and want to get advice from me, etc., then you're not here for fun. You're here to run a business. So let's get moving, right? Let's get those photos done. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Photos are not really the easiest thing for people to work on or do, etc. But always utilize this group for advice. In fact, I saw somebody posting today or yesterday. It was a picture of a soap. They wanted to know our advice on which photo is better. Absolutely use us, guys. Absolutely use us. Because sometimes, I'll be honest with you guys, sometimes you believe your stuff is awesome, but it isn't. I mean, I meant the photos. Like the photos, I've seen people tell me that they think their photos are good, and I'm like, I'm sorry to break this to you, but it actually isn't. And I'm helping you as opposed to cheering you on. Because if people keep cheering you on and not tell you how bad your photos are, then we got a little problem, right? So, and again, I see this, I don't see it as often, but I see some people in denial. And it's not because they want to be in denial, guys, and this might be you. It's because you really don't know what a great photo looks like. I talked about this before in a Facebook Live. I said, hey, what if Oprah wanted to feature you in her magazine? Would you be proud of your photo? Now, that usually will help you, or something, but if you really just need some help, post it in our group, say to the group, hey, I'm not looking for, somebody to cherry coat anything, give me honest advice, constructive feedback, not like, oh, your stuff sucks, not like that. But let people know you're open to super honest feedback, and it's the only way you can improve. If you kind of preface it that way, right, disclaimer, then I think we'll be more open to tell you, hey, this is not working, okay? Michelle says, I'm updating my photo, but I might be in denial. You know what? Sometimes we are. Sometimes we absolutely are. It's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna compare it to this, but we might have a problem and we might not know it. Reach out to your fellow online sellers. But again, put a disclaimer. Say, hey, I'm looking for honest feedback. I whatever, just give it to me, right? Because if you don't say that, people might feel a little embarrassed or shy to kind of give you honest feedback. And you might even see that your post does not have a lot of comments on it because people are probably scared to tell you, hey, Michelle, these are not looking hot at all, okay? Or these are okay, but this is how you could do better. And listen, it is not simple, right, to go ahead from taking sucky photos to taking great photos. If anybody told you the process of taking photos and getting better at it was easy, they lied to you. They should have lied to your face because it is difficult. You know, I think I'm very good with the camera, but before I had an online business, I was still fairly good at it. And there are things, let me just say this, there are things I've improved on, right, that I'm really good at now. I know people could get there, so don't give up, okay? I put my variations in rainbow order that matches my color chart. Do you think it's still okay? I thought that would be intuitive for the buyer, just like ABC order. It isn't. I found out myself it is not. It is very frustrating. Visually, we could find the color we want, because that's how that's how I do mine. I do it by color. Then as a buyer, when they go to click on the drop-down menu, I'm not clicking on the photo of the icon of the color. I have to physically find the name. And when we find names and we're trying to look for a name, it's by alphabetical order. It's how our brains work. I encourage you to do that. Now, is Erica going to see this big jump in conversions? Probably not. But is it going to make a difference with her buyer? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not just this one thing Erica's going to work on or anybody else is going to work on. It's a group of things, right? This is the point of the whole Facebook Live. You're not going to just find one thing you have to work on. If you have to only work on one thing in this Facebook Live, then you're probably really well off. You don't have to even bother watching this Facebook Live. But many of us probably have to work on multiple things, right? Okay. I have put off opening my shop for a year. Hi, Maggie. Because of pictures. I'm finally happy with them after so many mistakes. Maggie, I want to bring up something before I move on to the next thing. A lot of us want to be perfect before we get it right. I don't know what Maggie's standard is for perfect, right? She might have had really, really sucky photos and got them to a really good level. That's cool. But if you're trying to shoot for perfection, I don't want you to do that. I want you to shoot for good photos, okay? There will be times, guys, that we have to redo our photos. You might say, Dad, that seems kind of productive. I'd rather just get it right the first time. By all means, if you are able to, without waiting over a year or over 6 months to get it right the first time, right? Then do it. Take the time to figure out how to fix it on Photoshop, whatever. But if it's taking you a very, very long time, then let's not try to get it to perfect. Let's try to get it to good enough or pretty good and move on. Because, and it depends on your priorities and your goals. If you need to make money, right? If you're like, no, I'm chilling, Daddy. I don't need to make money tomorrow. I'm good. I'm just chilling, laying back. It's a hobby for me. Then fine. But if your photos are pretty good, then get it up there. And you'll worry about renewing them maybe in about 6 months or so. Maybe even less. Okay? I do wedding stationery, so since it's a higher price point. Yes. And I understand, Maggie. Of course, there's always going to be caveats to what I say, right? You never know. Like, some people's markets are different, so I absolutely agree with you, right? Okay, so let's move on. Pricing. Surprise, surprise. In fact, if you got, well, I talked about this in the video I just made. I made a free video for you guys. I'm not sure if you missed it. Because somebody type it down below for me. www.thehandmademastermind.com/marmalead. Okay, somebody can type that down for me. I would really appreciate it. It shows you a video where I show you and I walk you through the Marmalead Entrepreneur Plan. And in my opinion, it's really simple to use and I show you how to use it. But I talk about pricing in there because it shows you the average price point, and there's also another feature that shows you if your entire market is pricing lower over periods of time. It's a really cool feature, guys. Make sure you check out that video. Somebody type it down for me below, the web address. So the point is, you have to price within your market on average. You have to make a profit on top of that because we're running a business. You have to also, now of course you could price higher if you are different from your competitors, okay, because you're much better, not because you think you're the shit, right, but because you're using this type of printing process instead of this type of printing process, and so on and so forth. But is it evident that you are worth the price? That's another thing, guys. If I'm seeing your wedding suite, for example, and I'm saying, okay, she's charging $10 for each individual suite, pretty high, right? Pretty there. But her photos suck, XYZ, whatever, then I'm like, no, thank you, right? Because who was it? Maggie, I don't know what Maggie's price point is, and that's neither here nor there, but Maggie may wanted to wait a year to fix her photos perfectly, because really she knows she's not going to be able to pull it off with her high price point, right? If she had sucky photos, okay? Something to consider, guys. Pricing's a very big deal. Thank you, Marilu. She wrote down the URL for me. Again, it's a free training video. It actually will give you also 14 free days of Marmalead if you want to try out the entrepreneur plan for 14 days for free, okay? Love the video. Make sure you check it out. So, exactly, Maggie. Perfect. So now let's move on to something else. Description, okay? My hand hurts. So on the contrary to what people believe, people actually do read the description. You think they don't, because you get the buyer that decides to leave you a review and goes, hey, it's smaller than I thought, right? Thought it was going to be much, much bigger. And you're like, why didn't they read the description? Nobody reads descriptions. Ah! And you tell all your Etsy seller friends, and they all gang up in the, in the comment section, and you're like, yeah, nobody reads descriptions. Calm down. Calm yourself, all right? People do read it, but we obviously notice it when something bad happens because it stresses us out. Now, whether they leave a review or they message you something and you're like, I told you, it doesn't come framed. It says it in the title, in here, whatever. But you'll find that most people actually do read the description, okay? So, in short, work on your descriptions. I have seen plenty of people, this is one of those things also, by the way, guys, that people just don't get right. Descriptions suck for a lot of people. Either it's not enough, or it's way too much, or it's not formatted correctly, or you don't give the buyer information that they actually need, so on and so forth. Get it together, guys. If you are here watching me, I could assume at the least that you want to run this business semi-seriously, okay? Having these little meek descriptions and these funky photos or whatever is not an excuse anymore. If you're in this mastermind, it's not an excuse anymore. What are you going to do to make it work? How are you reaching out to the group for us to help you? Are you asking questions to me on Facebook Lives, especially on Friday Q&A, so on and so forth, right? To help you. That's it. Those little pieces, guys, by the way, if you think about your conversion rates, if you work on each of them, can really, really help you. Now, well, I'm not going to do this. I'll do this another time. But thought about something, so sorry. Anyway, it's important to work on it. It's also important, if you wish, right, to track it. So right now I told you about those 2 listings. Remember the ones that had 2.7%? Again, not bad, but I want to be better. If I want to work on those, I can say, okay, I'm at 2.7 today. Today's date is 6/23. Write that down. Listen to me very carefully. Write down today's date. Write down the time frame where you checked this conversion rate for this item. The time frame was 30 days, so it's 5/24 to 6/23, right? 30 days, whatever. So write that down. Then write the conversion rate down, 2.7. Then you want to, of course, write what the item is, however you name your items. And then you're going to write down, right, what you worked on that date that you're writing today's date, 6/23. So today I have changed my photos, right? Photos. Now, you need some definitely good time to pass by, okay? You need to at least 30 days to see if it's improved, okay? And that's how I want you to track it, because you could always work on things to help your conversions and not track it. That's cool, because it's always gonna help you, no matter what. At least you look professional. But certainly important to track it so you know, hey, your hard work is paying off. Okay, that's just my opinion. Even me, I have been known to go into some certain listings, grab the ones that I'm so proud of as far as design and views, and they really suck as far as conversion, and I change some things around, you know? Just FYI. I'm gonna give you one more tip, okay, guys, as far as photo. If you have variations in your photo, if you have variations in your product, I want you to offer, that makes no sense. I want you to have the photo, the main listing photo, as the most popular variations. Let me explain. I do ink and envelope color, right? Surprise, surprise. So I am always trying to pair up ink and envelope colors that work really well together. Sounds like a big project, right? No. But it actually is somewhat of an art, okay? Because if I were to pair two boring colors, while people know they could choose their colors and they can make it more attractive than my photo, they tend to get emotionally connected to your photo based on how you used your variations yourself. So for me, I put ink and envelope color. I put certain colors together all the time, most popular, etc. What are you doing to make sure you grab that customer in emotionally, right? Especially when it comes to conversion, when it comes to variation. Sorry, I can't really speak today, can I? Been gone for a week and everything gets out of the window. Anyway, so pick the most popular combinations and use it. I also happen to pick, let me show you a little secret that I have. I might have showed you this before. Okay, let me show it to you this way. Okie dokie. So do you see that? You see that, guys? That is a list of names. Let me explain. That is a list of names. The first paper to the left was a list of popular kids' names. Okay, boys, girls, and last names. Then I have the second sheet is a popular list of 80s baby names. What does that mean, you might say? Well, babies that were born in the 80s. That's me. Why am I doing that? Because I'm trying to use names of people around my age-ish. Again, why am I trying to do that? Because either my buyers are people my age-ish, right? 30s, 40s, maybe even 20s. Or there are people who are older who are buying for their kids with those other popular names. So what is Dahlia doing? Dahlia is connecting with them. I am trying to show people what their names look like as the example. I've seen people, okay, you know who you are out there because I've done your shop critiques, who have used their own names multiple times in several different listings. Don't do that, okay? Love your name, but not that much, right? You should be using tactics that I'm doing. So making people emotionally connect with it. They see their name Lauren, they go, that's my name, you know? Or I always use, I know this is weird, but when it comes to monogram, I'm always using the most beautiful letters, right? I don't like the letter D for my name when it comes to monogramming. I never use it in a monogram, depending on the actual font, by the way. So I will use the most popular ones. The L's and the R's are always the most beautiful, the S's, etc. So a lot of times you will find that I'm using those in monograms. Not because I'm trying to connect with the customer in their monogram, but because I'm trying to show them, look how pretty this monogram is, right? So I'm trying to show them the most attractive letters. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so I have the kids' names. I use it for kids stationery. So when the parent sees it, they go, oh, Emma, I know an Emma, you know? And then that's really cute. It connects with them. And of course, the popular 80s names, which has happened to be my customers' names, okay? So just think about that, okay? Anyway, so I want to wrap this up by saying a couple things. One, if you missed the beginning of this, make sure you rewatch it. But to figure out your conversion rate for your shop, you have to go take your orders divided by number of visits, okay? You go into listings and do the exact same. Identify the ones that suck as far as conversions and fix them. Now, again, before I end, you can do the same thing on any selling platform. Let me go onto Amazon really quick. Sorry. Did I put my password in wrong? No, there it is. Okay. So you can do the same on Amazon, guys. It's easy to identify what your sucky listings are, okay, and say, all right, how do I fix this? How do I turn it around? Okay, so you go to reports, you go to business reports, okay? Then you're gonna go along the left-hand side and click on, under by ASN, click on detail, page, sales, and traffic, the top one. When you do that, so I'm trying to adjust my chair. You are going to see a whole bunch of stuff, hopefully. I don't know how many items you have. But you're going to go over, hold on a second, let me make sure I got the right one. Yes. You're going to put your mouse over page views, the column page views. And you're going to click on sort descending. Meaning it'll give you the highest amount of views first, going down to the lowest. What you're trying to do is identify the ones that have the highest amount. Ow. Sorry. Okay. Identify the ones that have the highest amount of views to see their conversion rates, okay? The lucky thing about this is that you don't actually have to do the math. Amazon does the math for you. Tells you each one. And, hold on, do they? One second. They do. I know they do. Hold on a second. Yeah, okay. So then you're going to be looking at unit session percentage. Okay? So for the first one I have, oh, by the way, make sure the time frame is at least 30 days. Okay? Again. For the first one, my conversion rate is 17.45. Hooray. The second one, second highest, is only 4.6. What the hell, right? The next one is 11.61. The next one is 13.32, so on and so forth. You can identify the ones that are really low or not as high or whatever and say, okay, let me spruce this baby up. What is it that's not connecting with the buyer? Is it the color choices you put in your photos? Is it whatever? I gave you a list of things earlier, right? You could obviously rewatch this. So do the same thing for Amazon. Guys, do it for your.com. So well, everybody sells on a different .com platform if you do, but on mine I sell on WooCommerce, okay? So I would go to Google Analytics and you could easily see, and maybe it's for another day we could talk about it and how to do it exactly, but you could easily go to, well actually let's just do it right now, shall we? I don't know why I'm waiting. Do I have anywhere to go? No? Hold on. Hold on, my daughter is calling me. Okay, I just told her I'm on the phone. All right, so let me go to Google Analytics and tell you exactly how to do that really quick. You're taking everything I taught you in the beginning of this Facebook Live and applying it to every platform. It's easy, guys. You are amazing. My conversion rate on certain items is really bad, sucky, and I could see why already on the first one, the top one. Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. Sometimes it could be very evident to you, sometimes it isn't, but and obviously, like in shop critiques, I help you with that, but it's important to know that you're not perfect. You're not Mr. or Mrs. Perfect. No matter how hard you worked on your shop. I don't care how many hours you worked on your shop. I don't care if you've been doing this for 3 years. Maybe you've been doing it wrong for 3 years, even though you don't feel like it. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you do it right, okay? Let me just sign into Analytics, and I'm going to go quickly over how to find out in Google which items in your .com are not converting well. Now, FYI, none of this stuff matters, okay? All the stuff I just said, none of it matters if you have fake views coming to your shop. If you are posting your shop links everywhere on Facebook so people could see it, if you're like, hey friends and family, check out my new item on Facebook, or whatever you're doing, then don't bother with this exercise because your conversion rate is going to be, of course, screwy. It's not going to be accurate, okay? And I don't play any of those games, so... Okay. There it is. So when you go onto Google Analytics, you're going to go to Acquisition over to the left-hand side. You're going to click on... Hold on a second. I wish I had a stand of some sort. David. I decided to do a Facebook Live today just because. Anyway, so... Let me just grab it. Oh, my bad. No, I'm thinking of something else. We're going to go to Behavior on the left-hand side, and then we're going to go to Site Content. Okay? And then we're going to go to All Pages. then you'll see all your pages. And again, make sure that thing's at least 30 days, guys. Okay. Let me actually change mine to 30 days. It's not automatically 30 days. Okay, let me apply it first. Okay, it automatically sorts from the highest page views to the lowest. More than likely, your home page will be the highest page view. Maybe not. But you're going to, and of course, page views, it does not necessarily mean your products only. It could be like your about section page and things like that. Kind of sort through that till you find actual product pages. And then, hold on. Okay, so the last 30 days, let me find a product. There it is. So the only, well, you can set up Google Analytics to help you track conversions. It's a little bit more technical. I can't do it. Well, let me backtrack that. I can. I just gave up on doing it because I have other things to do, but I will get back into doing it. Or you can do it manually. So for example, this product, let's call it product XYZ. I can see that it had 90 views in the last 30 days on my .com. So what I could then do is go to my .com, see how many times this actual item has sold, right? And bada bing, bada boom, right? You do the little math. So there you go, guys. And of course, again, troubleshoot it. If you find that some are worse off than others, then fix it. Now, also on Google Analytics, what you could see is the exit rate, the exit percentage. When you could see when, so for example, for that item, how many people actually have left, the percentage of people that actually left on that page. So if you have a high percentage, then that's bad. Okay, because nothing enticed them enough to stay on that page, or they left on that page, so something got them to leave, like they gave up. You should always be doing things to keep people in your shop, whether it be .com, Etsy, Amazon, whatever. Okay, luckily for me, I have really low numbers here when it comes to exit percentage, so that's kind of awesome. That means very few people are leaving on that page. Okay, anyway. So there you go, guys. I want to do a quick Facebook Live about conversions. I know it was like super quick, but let's not forget, most of the work does not happen during this Facebook Live. Now it's time for you to take that information and say, you know what? You know, this may not be right for everybody. Meaning your big thing right now is not working on conversions. You're doing pretty good on conversions. Like me, I'm doing pretty good on conversions. I don't need to work on it. You have to work on other things. That's fine. For those of you out there who need to work on conversions, work on it, okay? You have some tools to help you figure out what to do. You do. Simple as that. Okay, guys? Do you guys have any questions before I let you guys go regarding conversions and whatnot? Oh, sorry, my hand is killing me. Let me hold it like this. Is there any questions before I let you guys go? Wow, my fingers really hurt. Remember back in the day when I used to hold my phone up? Oh, that was annoying. Now I gotten used to my little phone holder, and today I decided to hold it like a fool and my hands hurt. Anyway, thank you, Amber. I really appreciate it. I just felt like, I was like, you know what? I'm done with work. I miss these guys. I'm going to get on and really give it to them. Not in a bad way. Give you really good value, and I hope I did. If you found this Facebook Live helpful, give it a thumbs up. Okay? If you did not find it helpful, don't give anything. So I'm hoping to get a lot of thumbs up. If you didn't find it helpful, that's okay. I like doing these type of Facebook Lives throughout the other ones because you literally know exactly step by step what to do, you know? Anyway, guys, I missed you guys so much. I will see you guys on Monday and for another topic. Before I let you guys go, I want to kind of give you a heads up of what's going on with my life. Not too personal, but just related to work. Tomorrow's the last day I'll be fasting. So I'll be getting my groove back, if you will, on Monday. Or Sunday, really, but Monday-ish. I will tell you this has been the most unproductive month for me in history. I will also tell you that last week I've had a very productive week. Okay, that was really cool. And then I kind of fell out of it again. especially with my husband being out of town. So I appreciate for those of you who still on this call, appreciate for those of you who are very patient. You know, I'm fairly active in the group usually, and when I'm not, usually something is up. Usually business is very busy or what have you. And, you know, this month has been rough. It's been me fasting. It's busy. It's a very busy month for me. And just recently my husband went out of town. So a lot of things were piling up on me. So that's why I've been a little bit, I've been disappearing here and there. So I appreciate your patience with me. And I can't wait to get my groove back. I fell behind on a couple of really important tasks, and I'm hoping to get back into it next week. And that's it. So I just pretty much updated you on my productivity. It's okay to have unproductive times once in a while. Absolutely, I have them often. Not that often, but I have them enough. But I never had it for like almost a month straight, you know, and it was really disappointing. And I know a lot of it was because I was fasting and I literally had no nutrients throughout the day. But you will see me back on Monday with a drink of some sort in the morning, probably my protein shake, my vanilla cupcake batter protein shake or something. That's all I got for you guys, okay? I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you enjoy your weekend. I know I will. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye, guys. Miss you, miss you.